So you know those times when one of your friends just walks up to you and says, "Hey, I got this crazy advice on this thing that I've been doing recently," and you're kind of just like, kind of listening, kind of not. You're like, "Okay, what are you yapping about? I don't really give a fuck about what you're talking about." But I was basically scrolling through the Osu Game subreddit one day, and I was just looking through it, just looking through the plays. I was like, "Hey, that's a pretty cool play right there." And I saw this one advice form, and I was like, "Holy shit." This guy is typing in some perfect grammatical English. I need to listen to this guy. This guy is speaking his ways. He's speaking with the wisdom of a sage. And I went to scroll into it. I read the whole post and I was like, oh my God, my worldview is changed forever. And some of you guys may or may not have these experiences before, but in this video, I want to go through this topic, read through this one Reddit post I found, and tell you that this is the best Osu advice I've ever seen. So let me just bring you along real quick. So this is a post made by Catfucker92, definitely one of the names of all time. And the post says, I tell yo how improve at Osu. So a lot of people are out here asking how the heck they can improve in Osu, particularly 6 digits, 5 digits, or perhaps there's some 4 digits out there that are particularly roadblocked within their improvement. But this guy has all the knowledge right here. He's gone through the entire Erd tree. He has learned the entire wisdom. He's got all the monkey knowledge points right now. And he is in this forum post going to tell you how exactly you're going to get better at Osu, how you're going to break through every roadblock. This is basically the Bible right here. So let's just get through this real quick. I am Abdullah. Okay, I tell you. Play Osu no less 3 days a week, but not every day your finger ache. Play variety difficult of map, but mostly map almost F-scene. For people above 4000 PP means 1-3 miss with accuracy above 95. I have no idea for under 4000 PP. You are too shit. Don't retry. Waste of time. Just play game. Your friend, he retried 200 times per Osu time and wastes 30 minutes per day playing intro of map in mind block. Have consistent pooling map that play frequent to compare, but also add new map. Focusing effort important. Do not practice 5 skill a day. You are waste time. 2 maximum. Unless D-rank vermin, I do not care. Play more 2 hour a day, probably waste time. Well, let's pop off and FC many scores. So I know that was a huge info dump right there. I know you guys are probably still processing that information. You're like, oh my God, this guy just told me the entire history of the universe right here. I need a moment to process this. But I kind of just want to get through each prose and verb right here and give my commentary. But for the most part, I agree with what he says right here. But the part about play Osu no less 3 days a week, but not every day your finger ache. I suppose that's a way, like, if you're truly new to the game, you probably shouldn't be playing all day if, like, your fingers are actually out here getting RSI. But eventually you get to a point where your forearm and your finger muscles get really good that you don't really have to rest that much anymore. You just can keep playing. And another thing they say is play variety difficult of map, but mostly map almost I've seen. I agree with that. But also, don't forget to push skill cap. And then he has a section in here where he says he has no idea how you should improve if you're under 4000 PP. You are shit. Don't even try. I think this might be a reference to the recent Osu drama with Osu's a waste of time for the people who are out here trying to become number 1, but they're like 2000 PP. But no, I don't really share that doomer mentality. Of course, you can keep playing the game. You can obviously get to a point in skill. Like, just don't compare yourself with others. Comparison is a killer of joy at the end of the day. Just compare yourself to how you were beforehand. And another thing he's out here saying is, your friend, he retried 200 times per Osu time and wastes 30 minutes per day playing intro of map and mind block. So this is something that I've also struggled with a long time ago and sometimes recently. But when that happens, when you're just playing the intro of map repeatedly and you're trying to FC and you're like, dude, I need to FC this, but you're mind block on the same part in the beginning, at that point, you either just got to move on or just play the map through its entirety. Like, don't, like, keep retrying there. You're going to get mind blocked. Like, actually just play through the whole last map. And then the other part where he's like, have consistent pooling map, play frequent to compare, but also add new map, focusing effort important. Do not practice 5 skill a day. You are waste time. Like, he's basically saying, have a map pool that you consistently play throughout the days, but also add new maps here and there. I do agree with that. And he also says you should focus your efforts and do not practice a bunch of skills at a time. You gotta focus and hone in onto one effort. And he says that you should maximally play 2 hours a day maximum, and anything more is basically a waste of time unless you're popping off and setting many scores. Honestly, I agree with this as well. Me personally, I've always noticed that when I put in like 2 hours of focus play, like around that mark, 1 hour 30, 2 hours, I get that feeling of exhaustion. I'm like, dude, I'm not even like doing that well anymore. So unless you are FCing and going crazy, you should keep going. But if you are just like having a normal play session, yeah, you probably should hop off. It's going to be a waste of time to keep playing more. But unless you do want to play more, nobody's stopping you at the end of the day. But that's something that I shared in my personal experience as well. All right, so that's just an analysis of that one paragraph right there. There were even more to go. And as you can see, this is just an information-packed Bible right here. So let's get to the next part. Also, genetic are fake. You are just lazy, feeble mind, stupid, scum, pathetic. Stop listening to mean inside voice. You will never, Emmerich. Not reason to not play game, imbecile. Emmerich are the child soldier of Osu. Probably can't read or do calculus, just Osu. So the point he's making in this paragraph right here, he's basically saying genetics are not real. As long as you keep focusing your efforts and playing Osu all day, you can become Emmerich just as well. And what he's also saying right here is Emmerich is out here playing Osu all the time. His life is Osu. Nothing else is Osu. 100% of his effort, 200% of his effort in his day is spent on Osu. You can't really expect him to be good at anything else, right? Like if you try to ask him like a calculus question, what's the integral of like cosine? He's gonna be like, what the fuck is a cosine? Like he's probably gonna be asking that type of beat. But if you ask him what's the integral of the Osu map of Sotark's farm map, he's gonna be like, oh my god, I know what that answer is. It's obviously Monstrata. So basically here, Emmerich, he's just putting all of that work in. Honestly, I feel like genetics are a factor in Osu game, just in terms of perhaps the neuron connections between your brain and the hand-eye coordination. That probably has a part, I feel like. But it is more beneficial to have that mindset where as long as you keep working on it, you can be as good as Emmerich as long as you keep working at it. So I think this paragraph here is overall very positive. Just keep working on it. You can become Emmerich if you just go crazy like that. And then moving on, if you play Osu not fun and only get PP fun, quit immediate. You will not fun and drag down new player with. So he's basically saying in this paragraph right here, if you're playing Osu just for PP and not for fun, you should stop playing. And I don't really fully agree with that. Obviously, if playing for PP is fun, then go ahead. If you're getting PP all day, every day, you're getting like 100 new PP every day, you're like, this is the most fun thing in the world, keep going, man. But if you're out here trying to play for PP all the time, but you're not even getting any results, and you're not even having fun with it, that's honestly a waste of time. I agree with that right there. And next thing, play maps that are challenging. This misled dearest 6-digit. Do not spam me big black for 500 tries. You aren't improve. So this statement is basically talking about how some people are out here playing maps that are way beyond their skill range at first. So of course, if you just started playing the game, you can't just go to the big black and expect you're gonna improve like crazy. Like I remember seeing a Reddit post a long time ago where there was a guy saying that, okay, you are in a room, a time chamber, like a Goku time chamber, where you're gonna be 1v1ing against Cookie Z at his prime. And you just started playing Osu, but you could retry the tournament match as many times as you want until you beat him. How many years will it take to beat him? Like that type of question. And I feel like my answer right there is that I don't think you'll ever beat him, because if you're out here just starting playing the game and you have to go immediately to like 8 stars and you have to play all of them on hidden, it's going to be so difficult to overcome those initial barriers and those initial fundamentals. Like if you don't have those fundamentals to play those 8 stars, you're not even going to be able to improve over a long period of time. So I agree with what he's saying right here. If you're playing these maps that are way beyond your skill range, like you just started playing the game and you're going to go play big black for 500 retries in a row, it's not worth it. You're not going to improve. It's a waste of time. I agree with that right there. Next thing, play more, also mislead, but 6-digit are stupid. 1 hour good practice better. 2 hour play many map, but bad practice. So what he's saying right here is that you should really focus on a map. Like if you're going to play 1 hour of a map, you're going to get better at that one map. But if you play 2 hours on like a variety of maps, then it's going to be bad practice. Like I think what he means here is like, if you're out here playing like 2 hours of like all the Skibidi Toilet maps in the game, like these are really shit maps, and you're just doing 2 hours of playing of that. Of course, you can't expect that to be as effective as if you played Sputnik 3 for 1 hour straight, trying to practice the polyrhythms, getting better at it. Like you go from a D rank to a C rank to a B rank to an A rank within the span of a week, and you just do that in an hour every day, an hour of Sputnik every day, you do that. But if you're out here playing like 2 hours of Skibidi Toilet a day, you're not gonna be like out here improving that crazy. So what he's saying right here, yes, you have to focus your efforts on a specific map and a specific difficulty instead of just playing a bunch of random shit. So the next thing is play X to improve Y. This also mislead. Play X while improving your X, not the Y. Sometime work, but play X faster to improve at X than Y. Exception are no modification. Most good aiming DT dot player mainly no mod aim map until 400 PP, then no TV size left that give more PP, but also give good foundation to face their aim and not having focus on it as much. I don't know why I said it like that. So what he's saying right here is that if you think that playing jumps is going to make you play better in streams, that's not how it works. You have to play X to play X, not play X to get better at Y. So you can't get better jumps if you only play streams. You can't get better at streams if you only play jumps. But what he also is saying in this point is that these fundamentals from streams to a higher skill set are very are very essential. So again, as you said right here, if you started with the Nomad jump aim, then eventually that is a great fundamental foundation for you to get better at fast DT aim, like DT jump. And similarly for streams, you started with streams like the burst at first, and then you're like a 150 BPM, you start getting comfortable at like 200 BPM. You can eventually converge that skill set into playing speed and start playing like 240 BPM, and you're gonna get very good at speed. But you can't expect to like play full-on jumps and expect you to get better at speed. That's just not how it works. And then the last quote of the Bible right here, the equivalent of the 10 Commandments of 2024, he basically says, only routine if never planned, go back mechanics whichever. Will fucking to your finger. So what he's trying to say right here is that you only do routine if you're never gonna go back. Like you can't see yourself ever going back to a previous keyboard. And honestly, I agree with this. Like ever since I started playing with the routine, like I tried to play on my old keyboard for a bit and I was like, dude, I can't do anything. But if I go back to the routine, I'm like, all right, this is my comfort zone. I can tap as light as I want and I can still speed, like I can still play like 300 BPM streams and shit. So he's saying right here is that you're gonna fuck up all your muscle memory if you just switch to the routine, because routine's out here making things so much easier. Junk Deer, all the rapid trigger keyboards out here, they're making your life way easier. But yeah, I kind of just want to give my commentary on the tips provided in this Bible right here by Catfucker92 about how he tells you how to improve at Osu. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, and I'll see you on the next one.